have been to tours to different farms and I observed a lot of things. Among these things I observed, there is something very similar among these farmers. Do you use fertilizer on this farm?
This one now,
Yes.
you can see these black things that you are seeing now. This is organic manure.
When I was making the bed, I incorporated organic manure because I used strictly organic for it.
You might have guessed correctly, organic farming. Now the big question is this: why did they choose organic farming? I decided to carry out a research based on this, and I got too many reasons that could influence the choices these farmers make. The first on this list is definitely healthy living. Let's say it is in a situation whereby these farmers are consuming the produce themselves. There is no doubt that when it comes to organic agriculture and synthetic agriculture, that which is usually more beneficial to the health is foods grown organically. Now, that one aside, the second thing I observe which could influence the choices these farmers make when it comes to organic or synthetic agriculture is exportation. In some countries, they deal solely on organic foods. They consume organic foods only. They do not accept foods grown with any synthetic material. So when exporting to these countries, definitely your crop must be organic crop. Now let's look at the main picture, the main gist. What are the things to consider when growing crops that are meant for exportation to another country? And these are the things you must consider. The first on my list is the quality of seed.
This species of palm I planted here is a man, one of our father, who is working in agriculture.
Okay, he gave it to you.
Yes.
Definitely every farmer should get quality seeds when cultivating. Yes, but this is one thing you should consider when cultivating crops for exportation. There are countries that do not deal on substandards, and that is just the truth. So whatever thing you're exporting to their country must have to be quality. So the first thing you should consider when you want to cultivate crops for exportation purpose only is the quality of the seed, the quality of the crop.
Before I get this term, I know what I faced before I get it.
Is it expensive?
Not really expensive, but before you get a real cassava stem, it's very hard.
Because of how high the demand for quality farm produce is, a lot of farmers, especially those with the intention of exporting these crops outside the country, can go to any length to make sure they get these quality crops or these quality seeds. Now let us check out this cucumber farmer who chose hybrid, not because of any other thing, but because of quality.
These are hybrid varieties, and actually I planted two different varieties of the hybrids. I planted the African giant from here down to that end, and then I planted the Oliveira variety to that end.
Now that you are aware that the quality of seed is also considered when exporting, maybe we should talk about the next one, which is healthy produce. The truth is that this is where the main problem lies, and I will tell you why. In exportation, there is what we call phytosanitary inspection, and this is the check for pests and diseases. Now, why I said this is where the main problem lies is this: sometimes we do not have control over the pests and the diseases that affect our crop. You've been in a situation whereby you harvested a crop and then you notice that some of the products have spoiled, or maybe something devoured them inside the ground, something like maybe pest or a disease affected them inside the ground. Have you had such experience before?
Yes.
Issues like this can turn up to be an uphill task for a farmer that has the intention of exporting his or her crops to another country. The next thing you should know is this: that not all countries accept crops that are grown with synthetic manure. And this is why at the beginning of this video I was so heavy on organic agriculture or organic farming, as the case may be. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Before exporting whatsoever thing you want to export outside your country, you must know the requirements of the country you are exporting to. You cannot wake up one morning and decide to export maybe cocoyam out of the country without knowing the type of cocoyam these people want and how they want their cocoyam. Now, I would want you to pay very good attention to this.
When I was making the bed, I incorporated organic money because I used strictly organic for it. I know why.
He said, I used strictly organic and I know why. Now the question is why, if not for healthy living or exportation. In the world today, there are countries that are pushing towards organic farming. We talk about Bhutan, we talk about India, we talk about Sri Lanka. These countries are pushing seriously for organic farming. So as a farmer that wants to export to maybe any of these countries, you cannot expect them to take in these your crops that were grown or maybe germinated with synthetic manure. It's not gonna work. How can I talk about synthetic manure without mentioning synthetic pesticides? Do you use organic or chemical pesticides?
In the past, I've used different chemical pesticides to control that. I took my observation. So now I decided to try the organic, you understand? And it's worked out well in terms of cost, in terms of performance, and it still controlled them at a cheaper cost. Why compared to the high rates of chemicals now in the market? It's terrible.
There is something about organic agriculture. Apart from the fact that that is what is generally accepted when it comes to exportation, have you also considered how cheap it is to run an organic farm to how expensive it could be when running a synthetic farm? Because of how generous I want to be in this video, cucumber farmers, this is for you. Here are some of the organic pesticides you can use for your farm. But wait, before watching, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Come back and thank me later.
There are organic pesticides you can use. You know, the neem oil is there. You understand? There are also other ones that you can maybe locally prepare by mixing some ingredients. I also use rabbit urine. You understand? It's very good at a certain dilution rate. You understand? So it takes care of all those things. And having put in place of checkmating the weeds, the incidence I noticed is at the lowest level. So I attacked it